Okay, guys, so welcome to another daily analysis video. So let's just start looking at. Okay, so this is the video. I just uploaded a video on YouTube for daily analysis of 6th May for tomorrow. But unfortunately, audio is not there. That's why you see these charts. These charts are marked up from earlier. So let's just remove all this and start marking up the charts, right? So before that, uh, I just want to say that tomorrow is going to be NFP, so we need not to trade a lot. I would say if you get opportunity, then definitely go for it. But you don't need to trade in a way that you have to take a trade, and even if not price action is not looking good, then also you forcing the trade. So that way it won't work. Volume could be tricky tomorrow, and moves can be just be there for faking you out and stop you out. And like, don't fall for this one thing that you trade before NFP and you lose money and you try to make that back in NFP, because then you're gonna lose more. I have been through something similar in past, so I can relate with it. So now just let's start with our daily analysis. Now let's just mark up our zones on the daily time frame, right? So basically, as you can see, that price is trading between this resistance and this support here, right here. Okay, nice. Now looking at this thing particularly, we can see that what these previous candles do, right? Previous candle closed bullish, the next candle respected the lows, broke the highs and confirmed this as a support, right? So it was pretty much expected that today we can have a push up, right? And we had the push up. We filled this clean range to the left hand side. We got into these rejection areas and started rejecting up from that point of time particularly, right? Now what can we expect for tomorrow looking at the daily time frame? So looking at the daily time frame, it kind of looks like bearish market structure, I would say, like this, something like this. Something like this is actually happening. So maybe we can retest these levels once again. Price can just wake up and flip and retest these lows once again. So maybe we can see that on the daily time frame. But let's look at what our other time frames are actually telling, right? Now until and unless price breaks through this daily support zone, then we are all just bullish. If it comes here and doesn't break, then it again has got the potential to go back up to the range straight. So let's look at the 4h time frame. What does 4h time frame says, right? So this is a 4h time frame, and now this zone to the left on around 1920s 17, I would say, is a important one. Why? Because see this order block kind of thing, and the price rejecting from this particular point, price faking out from here on the 4h time frames. All these confirmations are there for this to consider this zone, I would say. Now if you look at the current 4h time frame, now this 4h time frame is kind of trying to take support from these rejection areas, right? So let's just quickly mark up these things, and let's look at what our market structure says, right? So market structure basically, I would say, is pretty bullish, I would say. Why? Because we had here the consolidation phase and we got an impulsive phase. Now we're just coming back for the retest, and this is a pretty impulsive retest, I know that. But it's just a kind of a simple retest. From this level we can continue to move up to these particular levels, or maybe we can come down to these particular levels as well and start rejecting from these rejection areas, this consolidation to the left hand side. Then also we have good opportunity to continue moving up, right? Now what you can look for sells. For sells, I'm just looking for this daily support to break, but scalps look good until this particular point of time, like until this point where price reaches up to this clean traffic area on the 4h time frame. Because if you notice it, then you will notice that below it has just rejections and consolidation to the left hand side, right? Now let's move on to the 1h time frame. So look at the 1h time frame. It's just having a kind of a little bit price is finding little bit difficulty going above this zone, I would say. Now it can be simple resistance for us on the 1h time frame, which was previous support and is now acting as a resistance. Now if price respects this resistance, then break these lows, then we can push down to these areas basically, and maybe we can continue to trade in this range until NFP, right? So this is quite good range, I would say, because it's a quite big range, but it's all just like messy to the left side, left hand side. So scalps will look good better in these areas, I would say. Now if I need to see some bullish momentum upon price, then what I need to see is that price doing something like this, like price going up, retesting back, and then price breaking up that higher high which it created, right? Then we will be flipping up mm, the market structure which is bearish into the bullish one, right? And now why we are bearish on the 1h time frame, let's just quickly show you that. Now you see this impulsive move, retest, impulsive move, retest, impulsive move, retest, right? Sorry, this was a pullback, and this pullback you see this just broke this particular structure to the left hand side, right? So let's just mark it up quickly. This was a 4h support, I would say. See, this 4h support was broken. Now this is a 4h support, and this has been broken, so this has flipped up the market structure to the bearish point. And now what can price do is that price can move up this up from this particular level which is acting as some kind of rejection area, and price can come down to it, retest it, and continue moving up, right? Or maybe it can just break these lows and retest this zone and continue moving down to these areas, and if it has volume, then it will just move on through these areas, right? But these are rejection areas where I love to be patient and see what price does for us to give opportunities, right? So this is pretty much for the day, that tomorrow is NFP. You can't expect much from what price will do, right? Because might happen that we don't have enough volume until NFP, or we can just range for the whole day until NFP numbers come out and NFP plays out, right? But NFP will be very interesting to see where we head towards during the NFP. Looking according to the price action, we can move up. Maybe price can just range in these areas basically, give some fake outs here and there, and then when NFP numbers come out, then price drive down to grab up liquidity from these particular areas. And then if we break these areas or the resistance which will be price which will be in it tomorrow, then we can move up, have a good move according to the price action, right? And I'm not at all good with fundamentals or anything like NFP or FOMC or any news, so I won't comment much on that. But I just know one thing, that trading before news can be little bit dangerous, and trading news as well can be little bit dangerous because of slippage and spreads and all those things, like when I was trading FOMC with Kevin on Zoom. So at that point of time, I was looking at my broker, the spreads were going wild, like 5 pips, 7 pips, 8 pips, it was fluctuating like anything, man. So slippage is going to be a big factor if you trade news. So now I would suggest you, if you are having a nice good week, then maybe call it a week or take it easy for tomorrow, and don't stress much on tomorrow, right? So I'm gonna stop this recording, and hopefully this audio is recorded, and I'll upload this on YouTube and post the link in the group. So if you guys have any doubt, then you can feel free to comment on the video, or just ask anything on the group, or reach out to me in person on Telegram if you want.